You are listening to the Hiking Radio Network, where we talk the walk with shows by hikers, about hikers, for everybody.
This is the Hammock Hangers Podcast, where we hang out and talk about everything from hammocks and hammock camping to the group hangs from around the country. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Hammock Hangers Podcast. I am your host, Paul Collins, or also known as Skunk Ape. This week on the podcast, we have two guests joining us, Fenton and Kristen Zook from YOBO Gear. Here's a little bit about each of them. Fenton, the master of inventions. Since he was mobile, Cal has been comfortable wandering the outdoors. His mother tells stories of how he would escape his playpen and disappear into the woods, only to come home just before dark. It would worry her sick, and she would scold, lecture, and punish him, but eventually gave up because he would not be contained. He hasn't changed much. He still loves to wander for miles and miles. He knows right where to find elk, moose, and bears, and is completely at ease in the forest without a gun or even a tent. He has spent most of his adult life thus far as a welder, and even owning his own welding company, which contributed to the initial funding for YOBO Gear. He can fix anything, and if you bring him a problem, he's going to find a solution. He keeps chatter to a minimum unless he has a good idea bubbling up or a few shots of tequila in him. He has two teenagers, Tanner and Sarah, who are fun, kind, and impressive humans. Kristen Zook, the chief organizer, expectations manager. Kristen has always been a sucker for sunsets, quaking aspen, and campfires. As a little girl, she had a hard time fishing because she felt too bad for both the worms and the fish. Her dad told her that they couldn't feel anything, and she still wonders whether or not this is true. Adulthood brought her to attaining college degrees and a job teaching music. Though she loved the children, she felt stifled and left the public school system after 6 years to work for herself as a massage therapist. After building that business, she still felt there was something missing and began hosting retreats and workshops for women. Then along came Cal, who was more than willing to show her all of his favorite outdoor spots. They spent lots of time together hunting mushrooms, climbing on things, and sleeping under the starry skies. It was a dream come true for Kristen and her sidekick, BFF, rescue mutt, Ginger. When Cal decided to move forward with his lightweight hammock stand company, Kristen and Ginger were delighted to be on board. So now let's get on with the show and hear more from Cal and Kristen and about the awesome hammock stands from YOBO Gear. All right, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Hammock Hangers Podcast. I'm your host, Paul Collins, or also known as Skunk Ape. Today, we've got two people with us. We've got Fenton and Kristen Zook.
That's right.
Both of them are the owners of YOBO Gear. So we're going to chat with them a little bit, find out how they got into hammocking, when they got into hammocking, and then talk a little bit about YOBO Gear and how that all started. So, Kristen, welcome to the podcast.
Thanks so much.
Thanks, glad to be here.
All right, so let's get started off on how each of y'all got into hammocking. Have y'all always hammocked, or did y'all used to tent?
I was born
What's y'all's story?
and raised a tent camper. I had no idea that hammock camping was even a thing until 5 years ago when I met Cal. And one of our very first dates, he drug me up a mountain and he brought a hammock for us to sleep in. And I was just like shocked that people camp in hammocks, and it was super comfortable and it was crazy and I loved it. But I had no idea that it was even a thing until I met Cal.
Awesome. So what about you, Cal? Have you always...
Yeah, I think it started, neighborhood 10, 15 years ago, or probably 10 years ago. And it was a elk hunting trip, and I packed way in. We decided to bring hammocks. And typically, after you're elk hunting hard for a week or so, you're starting to get pretty wore down and about ready to go, honestly. But back this particular trip, we brought hammocks, and we were 2 weeks in, and that's all I look forward to every day, was just going back and hanging out in the hammock. And then the rainstorms were super cool, because it's like where we set up, there's actually a little drainage right below us. So the water would just run right underneath our hammock. So I just lay in the hammock and watch the water run underneath. And I just thought it was the coolest thing. And then just the comfort was unbelievable. It's like it was, I don't know, it's like the longer you're there, the more energized I got. And I was like, man, I need to make this so I can do this everywhere. And then that's when I basically went home right after that and made a stand, and then just kind of been doing the same thing ever since.
Gotcha. Yeah, it is a lot more comfortable in a hammock than a tent. I can totally agree. Because I haven't slept in a tent since 2011, I think, was the last time I slept in a tent myself. So what's y'all's setup that y'all normally like to use?
Well, go ahead.
Well, we use mostly like our go-tos right now have been Jason setups with Jason Flowers with Walhalla. So he made us some quilts, and his hammocks are pretty amazing. And we've tried several. I mean, I have a dream hammock that I like a lot. We've tried some war bonnets. Havens was pretty interesting. It's different than a normal hammock experience. So I think it's like a really good introduction for somebody that's used to like tent camping to transition maybe into hammock camping. Now
I know the Haven is not a backpacking hammock.
No, definitely not.
Because of the weight. I know that. But yeah, I've tried that. It's pretty comfortable as well. What's your setup, Kristen? The same thing?
Yeah,
do you prefer?
Cal's actually laying in my Walhalla hammock from Jason right now.
Okay, I gotcha.
But yep, that's my.
So he done big boyed it.
Yep, exactly. And then I usually bring our cricket stand too. Like we just went camping up in the mountain last weekend, and there's plenty of trees for hanging, but I always just end up setting up on the cricket stand because there's zero adjustment that I have to make with my setup now. Right. It's just the same every single time. And so we had one hammock between two trees, and then the next hammock right next to it on the cricket stand. So we were under the same tarp, and which I think our tarp was also a Walhalla tarp this weekend, wasn't it?
Yeah. Is that the one where you had your dog's little net in between y'all? Yep.
She has a little zip up bug screen in between.
Yeah, I saw that.
Because she's terrified of hammocks. Really? Ironically.
Oh, so you gotta get her into hammocks too now.
Oh, we're trying. We're trying. If anybody knows any tricks to get your dog to jump into a hammock, let us know. Send them our way.
Awesome. Now, Cal, in the bio that you sent me, I saw that your first, well, I'm not going to say your first hammock, but the first higher level hammock was a Clark hammock.
Yeah.
Okay. Which one was that?
What are they? The 270? Is that, if I remember right?
How long ago did you buy it? How long ago was that?
It would have been probably 10 years ago, right when I got into hammock camping.
Okay, that was probably the 250 then.
Okay.
Because the 270s are a little newer. They got the zippers on the inside. The 250s had the zipper on the outside.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, it's been a while. I mean, that one's like gotten lost somewhere, so I haven't got to see it for a while. I'll probably have to replace it now.
Oh, no, I've had mine for quite a while. They're pretty much bomb-proof themselves.
Yeah, it's kind of weird because everybody thinks, longer hammock, the more comfortable they are. And I think Clark is probably one of the shorter ones.
Yes. Yeah, I think they're only 9 foot, if I remember correctly. But they feel like they do have more room in them than a 9 foot does.
Yeah.
So now, what was y'all's profession? I mean, because with the cricket stands and the freedom stands, the way that they're designed, I would have swore up and down that you were like an engineer or something. But I'm hearing that you're not, that you were a welder.
Yeah, I'm just a
true?
dumb welder nowadays. Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't say dumb welder with the way these turned out. So
that was just blind luck. I don't know. I've always just kind of been, even when I started welding, it was people just came to me and they're like, I want this built and I want it to be able to do that. And I just knew how to build it. It's kind of something that's innate. Same with the stands. It's like, I can't design anything on paper. Like I'll get an idea and then I'll just start building it. And I typically don't even know what it's going to look like until I'm done with it.
Gotcha.
I mean, that's how the cricket stand came about. I kind of had a vision of it, and I felt it was too much aluminum, so I just disregarded it. And then I was like, well, no, for being a freestanding stand, it's not that much aluminum. So, and there's like 3 things that have to be perfect with those stands, otherwise they don't work at all. And I was just really fortunate that it turned out the first time. Otherwise, I would have been like, oh, that's a dumb idea, and just quit. So.
All right, so you're basically the designer, the brains behind it, and all that. And then I know on y'all's website, Kristen, you have that you're the chief organizer expectations manager.
Yep. Or Cal likes to call me his dream crusher sometimes.
Dream crusher.
He's got so many ideas and he's so brilliant at building things. And I'm the one that says, okay, we need a plan and we need a budget and we need an order of events that these things are going to happen. And let's prioritize. And he just wants to do everything at once, which I get because I do too, but I have to bring him back to earth. I think
that's more of a guy thing too, because
it's got to be.
I think that's how most of us are. That's funny.
Yeah.
So
she helps me follow through on things because otherwise you get so many ideas. It's just it's hard to follow all the way through on one before you like.
Right.
I just get distracted and want to start them all, Then,
yeah, I understand that. Definitely understand that. So now y'all just got back from an event. Just like what, last week before?
Yep. Yeah, we were at 2 different events. We did the Pacific Northwest Overland Expo, which, actually both events, they were not full of seasoned hammockers. So we're really on the road out there trying to convert people to hammock camping from tent camping. And so we get to talk to a bunch of people that don't really have that experience, or their only experience of hammocking is just like taking a nap and reading a book. And it blows their mind when they see like, oh, you can have a hammock with a bug screen on it, or do you sleep all night in this thing, or what's that sleeping bag hanging underneath your hammock? And so we get to teach them all the fun things
from beginning to end, huh?
Yep. Yeah, so we had the Overland Expo, and then the very next weekend we had the Adventure Van Expo.
Okay. So what's next on the agenda? Any more coming up here soon?
Yep, we will be in Colorado at the end of August for another Overland Expo. That's down in Loveland. And then this fall we get to hit the road and head out your direction We're going to be in Chattanooga for an expo. And we'll be attending the Fall Sprawl again, which shout out to Fall Sprawl and the Palmetto folks. That was our very first hang we ever got to go to. And we would not have even known about it if they hadn't reached out and invited us. And that was so fun. And that's where we got to meet you, Paul.
Last year was the first year that y'all had been to one of the hangs?
Any hang ever. Okay. That was it.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And then after that, it was y'all came to HangCon.
Yep. And we will be returning because both of those events have been so much fun. And the people we've gotten to meet were just great, great people. And we're grateful for that.
Definitely.
Yeah, I know we're going to be back up there at Fall Sprawl.
Oh, sweet.
As well.
It's a party now.
Yeah, right. So, do you have any new ideas wandering around in your head there, Cal?
Oh, so many, but I just...
but the Dream Crusher has to come in and...
No, we'll have some things coming up here soon. It's just everything's kind of in the final stages of moving forward. I think we'll probably launch a new stand. We'll probably do a Kickstarter for it here, I'd say within the next month or two, probably 2 months.
Okay.
And we got some other things that nobody's done yet that are turned out to be super cool that we've been messing around with actually this morning. A lot of it was, so can't really say much about that, but it's going to be really going to be cool.
Right. Yeah, no, I wouldn't want you to give out any secrets prematurely,
but basically, at
least I know I got something new to look forward to.
Basically, we just took all the feedback from what we've been told over the past year and a half, and I think we checked all the boxes, so it should be pretty good moving forward.
Awesome.
Yeah,
it's an interesting time to be making these decisions. Like when we first launched our Cricut and our Freedom stand, it was kind of in the middle of a pandemic, which was really interesting with the supply chain issues and all the uncertainty in the world. And now, just with possibly a recession or whatever, it's just an interesting time. And so trying to figure out what to do next. And, Cal has all these great ideas and, okay, well, what do people want most or what do people need most? And in what order should we do these things? So it's been a challenge for us, and neither of us have marketing or business background. We're just kind of making it up as we go. So it's entertaining.
Gotcha. So I bet. So what's been the hardest part about, the making of the stand and stuff like that? Are y'all having issues with getting materials and stuff?
No, I have great suppliers, so that's not a problem. What the issue is, there's so many ways to do the same thing. Like the Cricut I designed for me, but it so like the machined parts out of the solid pieces is 70-75 aluminum. Same with the feet, and I mean there's everything's like really high end on it. But if you don't, if you just want a stand that'll hold your weight and be reliable, then most people, what I'm saying, I guess, is they could care less about the machine, the work, the craftsmanship. They just want a stand. So that'll be our next stand. I did away with all the machined parts and just simplified it and made it. It should come in. It'll come in a lot more affordable, I guess, for more people than what the Cricut is. But there'll be some trade-offs. But I think that it'll be more appealing to a larger market.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So the difficult thing is reading the mind of the masses and trying to guess what they're going to want and what they're going to go for. and then pivoting,
Gotcha.
if there were some things we fell short on or some things we didn't deliver, it's pivoting, and I'm trying to learn how to do that unemotionally.
Right.
Just saying, okay, what's next?
So while we're talking about the cricket stand and the freedom stands, you want to tell everybody a little bit about them as far as, the features of them, weights, all that good stuff?
Kristen's
Absolutely.
the one.
So our freedom stand was based off of Cal's very first hammock stand that he ever designed. He did a little Kickstarter in like 2015 or 2016. And it was just a little bipod hammock stand that needed to be staked into the ground. I think you had it rated for like 200 pounds or something. Is that right?
Yeah, I'd say 200 is good. I think we tried to say 300, but I think 200 would be more accurate. So
he knew he wanted to improve that one, and he was never really happy with it. So that's why he didn't really push that hard into the market. And so that's how YOBO kind of became reborn, was he was trying to redesign that stand. And that's where the freedom stand came from. So he made a bipod hammock stand, but he upped the quality of the aluminum. He made the poles telescoping, which it took, I can't tell you how many months of back and forth when he was trying to figure out how to get the tolerance between the segments, just tight enough to where it wouldn't be difficult to put it back together, but also where sand and grit couldn't get in. And he changed the hub design and had those machined and made it highly adjustable. And so we were really proud of the freedom stand, and we were great. And we were moving forward on that. And that's when Cal got the idea for the cricket. And he told me about this new stand that he had in his head, and it was going to be freestanding, and it was going to be great. And I, being the dream crusher that I am, said, no, let's just focus on the freedom stand right now. This is what we were doing. We had this plan. And luckily in that case, he did not listen to me, and we launched them both. So the freedom stand weighs 2.5 pounds per side. You can use one side or two, and it holds up to 400 pounds of weight. And you do have to anchor it, whether you're tying it onto a tire or a big boulder, or you're staking it into the ground. But that's in a more affordable price range than the cricket stand. Whereas the cricket stand weighs less than 10 pounds, but it'll hold up to 500 pounds of weight, and you can set it up anywhere. It's completely freestanding, so it goes inside, outside, uneven ground, even ground, in the water, wherever you want. It's just a little bit heavier and a little bit pricier. So that's the freedom and the cricket in a nutshell.
Gotcha. And I know I just received mine a couple of weeks ago. And then I received it, and then they put me back on nights working, so I haven't even had the chance to get out.
Don't they understand?
Mess with it, but no, they don't. They don't.
Oh man.
But I've threatened to take it into work with me and just throw my hammock up in the middle of the night.
You should.
But
well, we're excited to hear your thoughts on it after you have some time with her.
Yeah, I'm gonna play around with the cricket, and then y'all sent me the hubs for the freedom, so I'm gonna play around with that as well and check it all out.
Nice. We look forward to your feedback.
So we got meeting up with AJ as well.
Is he back from his world travels?
Yes, he is.
Okay, good. All in one piece.
He's back from that and everything, so
yeah.
But,
we got to run into him out here in Colorado.
That's what he said. He told me that
fun.
he ran into y'all out there. And, got to meet up with you.
Yeah.
Spend a little bit of time. So it's pretty awesome.
It was pretty quick. I would have liked to hang out a little longer, but
sure,
we all have schedules.
Yeah, schedules suck.
Yeah.
Agreed.
But all right, couple last questions, and then we get going. I'm trying to keep all the episodes, between 30-45 minutes roughly, to start off. If there was something that you could put out there to new people, new hammockers, what would it be? Any tips or tricks?
personally, and I still consider myself a newbie. Like, if you want an expert, talk to Skunk Ape or Cal, not me. But a huge game changer for me was an underquilt. I,
Okay.
if I had tried to sleep in a hammock with a sleeping bag, I would have been freezing and uncomfortable, and they're impossible to move in. And once Cal got us hooked up with underquilts, it was a game changer for me, and I could not believe how comfortable and warm I was. So that was a big thing for me.
Okay. So underquilt.
Mm-hmm.
What about you, Cal?
I would just say, I wish they would do some actual like clinical studies on this, but through the years I've abused my body so much, and my back just kills me. And then how just how good I feel sleeping in a hammock, like how much more flexible I am, and I'm in a way better mood too. And it's just let people know that it's like, I feel most people, I don't know about where you're from, but where we're from, it's more of a recreation. It's not really a lifestyle or a sleeping method. Like, they'll go, like, it's a great replacement for your actual bed or cot. It's not just something to recreate in during the day. And if they understood that, and then the benefits of like, I think when you're sleeping in it creates a little traction on you the whole night, because my back feels a million times better if I sleep in a hammock. So just, I'd say the health benefits and the just how much better it makes your body feel.
I can totally agree with that. I mean, if you can see behind me, I've got mine struggling up in my room right now, and I come in here and nap all the time. So I mean, I can totally agree with that. I mean, I've worked construction for almost 32 years, so I know where you're coming from with the aches and pains and all that stuff from that. So
yeah.
Do you sleep better in one?
Oh yeah. I mean, my wife and I went out when we bought our house and bought a whole new bedroom set. And so it's like, okay, well, I want one of the Tempur-Pedic, cool touch mattresses with the adjustable bed. And, that way I'll sleep better. No, I still sleep better in my hammock.
Yep.
Than I do in that bed.
And it's,
I believe it.
It's life-changing, really. I mean, it's like, the only reason I sleep in a bed is because I like to sleep next to Kristen. I mean, if it wasn't for that, I'd be full-time in a hammock, no doubt. And then that's probably me as well. Like, it's still a lot of times I'll get up out of my bed in the morning and I'll come hang out in the hammock for an hour, and that'll get my back aligned, and I'll feel 100 times better. And it doesn't matter what bed I sleep in; it's never as comfortable as a hammock. Totally agree.
Yeah. So, all right, guys. Well, I'm glad I was able to get y'all, and y'all came on to chat a little bit. So what are some places that people can find you, as far as like website, Facebook, Instagram?
Our website is yobogear.com, and we hang out a lot on Instagram, and our handle's just at YOBOgear. Same with Facebook. We have a private Facebook group called the YOBO Neighborhood. Anybody's welcome. You don't have to own a YOBO Gear product. It's just for people who are curious about it and want to see how other people are using them or talk amongst themselves. So you can request to be in the YOBO Neighborhood, and we've never denied a request. So that's a good place to find us.
Right.
So yeah, we like to be very accessible to folks out there if they have any questions or anything.
Awesome. I know y'all are pretty quick and responsive also when people ask questions and stuff on social medias. I've noticed that.
Yeah, if we don't respond right away, it means we're out of cell service. We're camping.
Yeah.
Out hanging out in hammocks.
Yep, in hammocks.
Yeah. And
awesome.
I guess also I'd like, if it's possible, for people to know that if they reach out to me with our Cricut design, I can build a hammock stand that weighs 4 pounds, or I can make them to fit 14, 15, 16 foot hammocks. I mean, that's kind of what I was talking about earlier, is it's just picking the lane that we choose to travel in. So, I mean, I will do a custom stand if somebody has a specific need.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. Awesome. That's good to know. Very good to know.
Did that just screw up your whole interview?
Well, no, it didn't screw up the interview. I mean, it might have screwed up my wallet later.
He did just order a cricket.
Because I know, is it Dutchware that has the 12-foot hammocks on sale right now?
Yep. Yeah, I didn't see what the price was on them. Did you?
That's not bad. I can't remember exactly what it is, but I know it's not bad.
Yeah.
AJ was talking about ordering one the other day too. So,
well,
might need something.
I better lean that way then a little,
huh? Better be quick. You don't know how long they'll be on sale.
Yeah, right. So, all right, y'all. Well, like I said, I appreciate y'all coming on the show. Is there anything that y'all want to add or anything before we go? Or?
Well, we're just honored to be on the show, and thank you for inviting us. And we're happy we got to meet you, and we look forward to lots more fun times ahead.
Can't wait until October.
Yeah.
See y'all again and hang out up there up in South Carolina, and then come January, HangCon.
Yep.
Yes.
Before
we know it, it'll be here.
It's been a blessing being part of the hammock community, and also to I feel do our part to help it grow. So it's all been fun.
Well, I know y'all definitely do. 'Cause I mean, I know y'all are always, donating and stuff like that to the different hangs and charities, and giving back to trying to help the environment. So.
Yeah, we didn't want to do a business any other way if we couldn't give back somehow, whether it's to humanity or Earth or whatever.
Right.
But
awesome.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, we'll go ahead and wrap it up, and I'll have y'all on some other time. Cal, if y'all, whenever you come up with something new or whatever, just give me a holler and we'll come back on and we'll talk about it.
All right. We'll talk.
That'd be
great.
We'll
talk to you next week.
Next week. Awesome.
Thanks so much, Paul.
Appreciate you, Paul.
All right, y'all. All right, appreciate it. Thank you, Kristen and Cal, for coming on the podcast and talking about how each of you got into hammock camping, and also about how YOBO gear and the awesome stands were born. I can't wait until October to meet up with y'all again at the Fall Sprawl in South Carolina so we can chat some more. Plus, I want to see what other awesome ideas you have brought to life. Cal and Kristen have also created a discount code for all the listeners of the Hammock Hangers podcast, which will give you a 15% discount on either the Cricket Stand or the Freedom Stand 2 sides. Just enter Hammock Hangers 15 during checkout to receive the discount. So head on over to yobogear.com and check out both the Cricket and the Freedom Stands. Also, make sure that you follow them on their Instagram page, their Facebook page, and also join their Facebook group, the YOBO Neighborhood. All of the links along with the discount code will be in the show notes. Make sure you come back next week and join me when I bring on the next guest. Until then, happy hanging, everyone.